Hi guys, I'm just about to start. Oh, let me know where you're watching from. Carol Nakuona, thank you. Fatma, asante sana for joining. Please let's share this video. As you join in, let me know where you are. Are you in Kenya? Uko wapi? Let me just know. Okay, please share this video. As you know, I'm very passionate about talking issues of life. Na leo tunaongea about ulevi. We are talking about ulevi and drug use. So if you have a family member, if you have someone unajua is struggling with ulevi, and please let's just we are here. I don't criticize. I love to build people. Karibu sana Patrick. Nice to see you. Patrick, leo uko wapi? Leo uko pande gani? Let us know where you are from. Please share these videos, ladies. Please share these videos. Let us talk about mental wellness. Santo, thank you for joining in. Always supportive. My husband, karibu sana. I will not wait for 30 people. Karibuni sana people. What an honor to be here today. Please, as you join in, Alice Nakuona Karanguri, as you join in, please let me know where you're watching me from. Karoanjiko, karibu sana rafiki yangu. Nice to see you. Please, let's share this in our various platforms. Please let us share. And why I always say to share is because we want a mentally stable society. Sindio? Patrick Motwangufa, wow, watching from Lumumbashi, what an honor to have you. Please share this to all your groups in Lumumbashi. Let us talk about alcoholism and drug use. And today, I just want to ask you, please do not, as I present, please don't feel like I'm out here to judge you. That is not my intention. I am so passionate about building families, building individuals. My sister Edna, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Please share this. Emily, Nimo, karibu sana. Guys, as I am doing this presentation, if you have groups out there that you belong to, kindly share. Also, let me know where you're watching from. And today, I'd really like to have an engaging time with you. If you have issues, if you have members in your family who are struggling with alcoholism, drug use, if you yourself are also struggling with alcoholism, drug use, or any type of addiction, please feel free. You can always inbox me. You can always, take my number. It should be on the screen. And once I finish with the video, I'm going to share my number. Please reach out. Let us see how we can help you to deal with the various. And funny enough today, sorry for that interruption. Funny enough today, I was doing presentation, about addiction and mental wellness. And I just like to pick that up because that was a topic that I had planned to do for this Friday. And I want to come up, and just bring into light the kind of addictions that we have in today's societies. Let us look at it from a very, very realistic point of view. Siku hizi ni nini ndio inaendelea, especially with this COVID-19. We are seeing a lot of cases of drug abuse. Si heroin, si bangi, si cocaine, si kuber, You know, even when I go out there to deal with the street children, wananiambia pia kuna kitu inaitwa mafuta ya ndege, you know. Haya, let us look at the women out there. We know what we have been dealing with. Some of us, you know, even before codeine was pushed out of the counters, kuna wale watu wako wanalala, maybe because you have so much, you know, so much going on in you. You're struggling either with an alcoholic husband, you're struggling either with family issues. So what have you been doing? Umekuwa ukienda unanunua Piriton, unaenda unanunua codeine, dawa za kukohoa. You drink so that you can, you know, you can sleep. Vincent and Ambessa, Caroline, Mburure, karibuni sana. Let us share. Let me know where you're watching from. So we're talking about addiction. You go out there, you buy your Piriton, you go out there, you buy a muscle relaxant, unaenda huko unanunua, you know, things that can help you to deal with what you have bottled up in your heart. Okay? Addiction just doesn't happen. Sometimes we are pushed. Let me tell you, and that's why I said I'm not gonna blame anyone out there. Sometimes, even as women, we sit out there tukunywe, tulewe, tuanguke, tujikojole, not because we want, because some of us ni watu tumeheshimika sana, okay? But it's because of the current situation, what we are handling, okay? Ndio inatufanyanga we try and cover up using things that are enabling certain behaviors. So by the time you are even, you know, going into addiction, by the time umechukua pombe zako, umekunywa, umekojoa huko, umeongea takataka, you know, I'm seeing this trend that we have, and kila mtu wana raha zake. I always say, you know, have your fun, but also learn to know the limits. There are people who just will not even, you know, shy away from doing some things. You go out there, you mekunywa, sasa you unaenda. Karibu Austin, Omondi, and Dinda. Let me know where you're watching from. Please share this video. Guys, please share this video. At the end of the day, let me remind us, we are here to create a society that we want, okay? So umeenda umekunywa pombe zako, umeenda umefanya vitu zako, umeenda you know, and then you put your camera. People, by the time you're taking your phone, you're putting your video, you're going on Facebook Live, you're doing funny things. Remember, social media never forgets. I feel so sad that some of us are parents, some of us are sisters, some of us are brothers to people. We don't even care what we are, as you know, subjecting our families to. You have put camera hapo, you're half naked. Honestly, you're there, you're saying things, unatamka vitu that, you know, you will live to regret. And one thing that I always say, people, we are parents, sindio? Utakuja kama wewe si parent, you will still one day have a family. Facebook never forgets. Social media never forgets, okay? Sasa umeweka vitu zako, wewe tu in your own, you know, you're having fun. So you had your alcohol, umevuta bangi zako. You're there, you're dancing, you've removed your clothes, whatever you have done. And your child comes across your own video, something you posted. Okay? What are you going to tell that child? What are you going to tell that child? So what I'm trying to say is, yes, we are a society full of addictions. But at the end of the day, can we also try and guard our families? Can we try and guard, especially our children? Because they are the future leaders. They're the ones who are going to take over once our time, you know, to serve in communities out. These are the children who are going to come up and they're going to do what? To take over. So whatever you're doing right now, remember, it has an implication. It has such a huge implication on our families. And today I want to take you through the process of addiction. Nastaki, you know, I don't, you know, of late we have been seeing people drunk, you know, unaona mtu anafanya vitu zake. There are people who are even addicted. Even in our own families, you find there are people who are addicted to pornography. There are people who are addicted to so many other things. Pia religion is an addiction. So we see people who have been who are suffering from addiction. Regina, karibu. Let me know where you're watching from. If you can, please share. So we see people who are addicted to things. And then what do we do? as human beings, we start judging them. Unaanza kusema, hey, I saw Venus, nowadays, what's up with this kithingi that she has, her eyebrows, addiction comes in all sizes and shapes, okay? But the last thing we want to do is to judge. What we want to do is to help. And that is why I'm seated here using this time to just enlighten you, okay? What we need to do is help people who are addicted. When you see someone out there, ameka kamera zake, they're doing funny or silly things, please don't start laughing at them and judging them. No. That's not the best way to approach. Try and understand, where are they coming from? Could it be that they are battling something in their life? Could it be that these people have come from a place whereby they have faced certain traumas? Wengine they have gone through rape. Wengine they have lost their jobs. Wengine it's about relationships whereby wamefika mwisho. In terms of even their marriages, they are hurting, Could it be that they are coming from a place of hurt? They're having anger issues and they don't know how to deal with these issues, okay? So in the bid of trying to just create a balance mentally, what do? They go out there, mtu anavuta bangi zake, mtu anakunywa pombe zake, so that when they go back to their homes, they can be able to face that spouse who looks down upon them. They can be able to face that spouse who has been even beating them up. They can be able to face even these family systems that are dysfunctional. People, let us move from being too judgmental. Let us try and be the helpers in our society today. And allow me to just take you through the stages why people start abusing drugs, why people end up in alcoholism. Kitu ya kwanza mtu anakuanga curious. Hata mtoto wako a teenager. We are still tackling these 380,000 teenagers who have done what? Who are pregnant. But have you asked yourself, could it be that it could also be an issue of the prevalent use of drugs in our society? Maybe you look at your child and you say, mtoto wangu ako sawa, but huko ameweka makuberu. Kuberu is put hapa, here, because there's so many, ameweka kuberu zake, amevuta bangi zake. So you're always saying, hapana, mtoto wangu tena anakuwa so active nowadays. But little do you know that your child is abusing a certain drug. So at the end of the day, we do this because we are curious. Sometimes you just want to, maybe you've heard people describe how it feels when they take a certain drug. So out of curiosity, you try it, okay? And it's the same thing with our children. They try it because of curiosity. The second thing is about peer pressure. We live in a society. We are not we have neighbors, we have friends, and we find ourselves in social circles and spaces whereby these things are being used. So unaambiwa, ni nini wewe Venus? Why are you being so shady? Kunywa hii pombe. This is what we need. Team Bosire and James Karibu Sana, please let me know where you're watching from. People, if you have any question, if you are watching me and you have any question that has to do with addiction, I'm talking about addiction today, and issues that have to do, with family support system, please ask me. Or if you don't want to ask here and now, you can always contact me. Send me an inbox. And if you know friends who are battling alcoholism, any drug use, waiteni, please let us talk about this thing. So some people just, you find yourself in social spaces whereby ni kawaida kuvuta hii shish, sijui wanaita hashish, ni kawaida kutumia kuberi, ni kawaida kuvuta bangi, ni kawaida wa kukunywa. In fact, when you don't use these things, people consider you like you're shady. Huyo ni nini? Anajifanya muholi Joe, So, because you don't want people to talk about you, don't want people to also judge you, you start engaging in the use of this thing, okay? And let us now critically look at our teenagers, And if you've walked in this journey of drug use and abuse, let us see what happened, How did you end up, being addicted? Because there must be, yes, you are using it, but how did you end up being addicted? The first thing was the experiment. Umeambiwa, you know, our teenagers, when I'm counseling young men and women out there, they always tell me, oh, you know me, Venus, I ended up, you know, trying weed because my friend just told me, just puff kidogo, you'll feel nice, you know, and you know, without resistance, you know, you take this roll of something, you know, wrapped in nini, now you smoke it, and then what happens? Wow, you feel so good. What? You feel so good. So that becomes the first step of your initiation. Experiment too. Then from there, now it becomes unaambiwa sasa wewe umekuwa wetu. You know, there's always that thing of, you know, like-minded people move together, and you find that where alcoholism also is involved, kuna wale watu, they will gather, they are alcoholics and they love their space. They feel it's a safe space for them. So when you think about drinking, unajua ni nani you're going to call, okay? And they're those people who, you know, their friendships are based on drug use and abuse, okay? So after that, because you've experimented and you felt something changing, you remember, drugs target your brain. They target your brain. That is where everything starts. And there's a hormone in your brain called the dopamine. Na hiyo ndio vitu kama cocaine, heroin, zinakuanga zinaenda, they create, you know, in a flood brain, you know, so that kama kulikuwa na 10, your brain has like 100. And that's why you find people, you know, start doing funny things like, oh, judge. You see this, you know, it's so weird that people get a split personality when they engage in drug use. So unakuta mtu anakuambia what is happening in their mind? There is an overload. The system is overloaded. You see, dopamine is a reward hormone. It has to do with, you know, a reward system. So when you're excited, dopamine iko juu, okay? So when the drugs, karibu sana my childhood friend Brenda, please let me know where you're watching me from. Share this to your various forums, your various platforms. Rachel, thank you for joining in. We are talking about drug use and abuse and how we end up getting hooked to certain behaviors in life. So umeenda umekunywa the drug, umevuta bangi yako, maze in the brain, you know, there's an overload. The system is overloaded. Remember, dopamine is the targeted hormone in your brain. So kuna kako ka overload, mtu anaanza kukuati hope. You know what is happening? The brain is already altered. Okay, that system has already been altered. So what you're showing people in terms of behavior, in terms of also not really caring, is because your brain is not functioning normal. You know, it's not functioning in a normal way. Imekuwa na overload ya hii dopamine. So you are overexcited. Okay? You are overexcited. And that's why at the end, by the time you're becoming an addict, okay? By the time you're becoming an addict, it is your brain reminding you, Venus, you gave me one puff of bangi. Hey, Monica, welcome. I was worried where you are. I was almost calling you. It's asking you, Venus, ulinipea one puff of bangi last time. This time, nataka unipatie mbili. Okay? The brain never forgets. Remember, the hormone, the dopamine, that reward hormone is the one that has been targeted. So inakwambia pana, nataka 10 times. Nataka 10 times what you gave me. And eventually, people, you end up addicted. And we are not even talking about sasa drugs. Hata ukienda kwa vitu kama shopping, the women who are watching me, unaenda, one time you go, you experience the joy of shopping with a friend, okay? Something in you is just moved. Your brain is overexcited, and you note the difference. Hey, when I went shopping with Venus, it was just so amazing, okay? Brenda, you're saying, I'm watching you while on a break at the hospital. I also did. Wow, Brenda, I'd like to have, have you on my show one of these fine days. Dealing with mental health patients is not easy, okay? That's also my area, as I'm a drug abuse, a drug addiction counselor, okay? So at the end of the day, you find that, the brain reminds you, I want that high. So when you go back, even for the people, nowadays, everyone on Facebook, everyone out there has become a prophet. And we are always, if you look at the comments, we're always sending comments. Please help me. Please pray for me. Pastor, please do a prophecy. I want to know what is happening, what is standing on my way. It's an addiction. Why? When this person speaks in your life, there's something that goes on in your brain like, wow, there's a sort of an excitement. So we always end up in an addiction circle, not because we want to, but because there's an overload that has happened in our system. So we're talking about the ways we get hooked up. So tulisema kwanza you experiment, tuendeni, let's go and do this. Then you feel the effects. Then it becomes, now you look for friends who also do the same thing. You notice that, as I said, if you take alcohol, you'll hang out with people who make it so easy for you to drink alcohol. If you smoke shisha, you find it so easy to call your friends who smoke the same thing, because there you are not judged. Kama wewe ni mtu wa bangi, utajipata kabisa umeingia kwa hizo vitu za bangi. Kwa nini? Because people who are also using that weed will not judge you. You become like a social, it becomes a very safe space for you to deal with, the people who are around you. Now, instrumental use. This is where now you're taking something to manipulate other people. And for those of you who are in families, if you're in systems where you're seeing an addict, you're dealing with an addict, you do realize that at this stage they take this thing. When you talk to youth, they'll tell you, I started smoking bang because of boredom. When you talk to women who have been abusing antidepressants, they will tell you, I started taking these pills because I felt depressed. My husband used to abuse me. My husband used to do this. Or my children used to abuse me. So at some point, it was because you are trying to deal with an emotion. You are trying to cover up an emotion. You are trying to get an emotional balance. Okay? So you found yourself now lured into taking this thing. That is what we call the instrumental stage. And in our own families, we find that there are members who, when they want something, when they want, wanakujanga kama wewe ni bwana, you're so shy, you cannot demand even sex from your wife. Unakuta now you find yourself going to take, alcohol out there, coming drunk and disorderly and telling your wife, I want you. Ama, you have issues that you have not resolved. So because your mind has been altered, now you sort of like get confidence to deal with this issue. You can hide behind that facade of alcoholism. You go home and you tell you're very stupid. You're a very stupid woman. I'm going to leave you. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with addicts, don't look out for ati sijui nini. Look out for the words that come out of them, because those words they're normally premeditated. Si ati ni kitu unataka ati sijui nini. It's something that has been, has been in the unconscious mind. Sasa akishavuta hizo bangi, akishafanya whatever, now you see them expressing themselves, okay? That is what comes out. And during this instrumental stage, you look out for those words, because either they will tell you, I'm so stressed, they will tell you things, based on why they have been using those drugs, okay? So that instrumental stage remains very, very key when you're dealing with addicts. Now, let us move to the compulsive use. Hii ni pale sasa, mtoto wako ako hooked. Bwana yako ako hooked. Whoever, your relative, your sister is totally hooked on this thing. Why? They cannot function without it. Let me tell you, if they don't get, have you ever seen people who cannot function, without having this thing, inhaling this thing? Wasipokunywa hiyo pombe wana shake, It's because, they have become addicts, so they are shaking. Until they are able to get this thing in their system, they will not be able to function. So guys, when you're dealing with addicts in your families, when you're dealing with addicts even in teenagers, when you're dealing work, I would like to urge you, please, 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 do not judge. Do not judge, because most of the time you do not know where these people are coming from. And I'd like to pick up on this topic and discuss more about it, yeah, and delve really deeply into the types of addictions and even the roles that we take as family members when we are dealing with an addict. And are you there? Might you be out there and you know someone who is suffering from an addiction, or someone who is even in that space, or who maybe hajafika pale kwa kabisa ni addict, but you yourself they are actually abusing a drug. It is very important that you seek help, okay? Seek help from a psychotherapist. Let them be able to go even into rehabilitation centers. I have checked a number of people into rehabilitation centers. I have worked with them and they have turned out to be so good. And these people were even at the verge of even committing suicide. They were at the verge of breaking down. They were at the end, because they were so hooked up onto these drugs, okay? So rehabilitations are also part of the things that we use as interventions when it comes to addiction. I'm going to take this deeper, but guys, because of time, I have to go and see my patients. I would like to ask you to please share this video. Let us spread mental wellness when it comes to addiction. And for those of you who are not subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel, The Mind Spa. You will see a number of videos that have to do with mental wellness. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share. Let us spread the gospel of mental wellness. So I will be uploading more videos about addiction. And addiction, guys, addiction is a very broad subject. I might have to do part 2, 3, and 4, part A, B, C, D, there's so many, systems, that support this thing called addiction. So please let us continue engaging more. I will definitely pick on this subject in my next video. You can give me feedback. You can inbox me on any questions that you do have. We are gonna